Members to the November 17th, 2022 meeting of the Baltimore County Planning Board. It is now called to order. I'm Nancy Hafford, the chair of the board, and now I will call on a roll call on my members. When you hear your name, please say aye. Mr. Avery. Mr. Caligari.
Aye.
Mr. Fotis. Ms. German.
Aye.
Mr. Heckman.
Aye.
Mr. Heinl. Mr. Halipka.
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye.
Mr. McGinnis. Mr. Perlow.
Here.
Miss Panera. Mr. Warren.
Aye.
Miss Wolfson.
Aye.
Thank you all. Please join me now.
Aye. Peter.
Who's that?
Peter, Peter is here.
Oh, thank you, Peter. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please join me now in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
one
United
nation,
States of
under
America,
God,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Ms. Bensley, has there been any changes to the tentative agenda as published?
No changes, Madam Chair.
Thank you. In the November 10th, 2022 email, you received draft minutes from the October 20th, 2022 meeting. Has everybody had an opportunity to look over those draft minutes?
Yes.
Are there any additions or changes?
Real quick, I did want to point out one typo. On page 2, I referred to Mr. Heckman as Miss Heckman. So I have corrected that. I do apologize, Mr. Heckman, for that typo, but I did catch it and they'll be published correctly. Just wanted to make note.
Right, all right.
Do I have to vote for approval of those changes or? Good.
We're good.
We can let that one slide by. I'm glad. That's good. All right. If there's no changes besides that little one, may I have a motion to accept the changes?
motion made.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. First on the agenda, we have a presentation from Ms. Daphne Daly of the Baltimore County Department of Planning on the Ruxton Riderwood Lake Roland Area Community Plan. After Ms. Daly has finished the introduction, I will call for a motion to set a public hearing on the subject matter. Please welcome Ms. Daly.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good evening, members of the board. I wanted to just very quickly introduce myself. I am the new Western Sector lead planner, and I'm working with both Sophie Kotzker and Alex Laham in the Western Sector. I am actually going to turn over the presentation to Alex, who's going to lead you through it. Since this is in her direct area of planning. So let me turn it over to Alex, and I'm going to be behind the scenes working the presentation.
Thank you, Daphne. Just wait for the presentation to come up. All right, so I'll be presenting the Ruxton Riderwood Lake Roland Area Plan for introduction today. I'll start with an overview of the background for introduction, the impetus for the update, and the update process that was followed. I'll then go on to present the key issues addressed in the plan and the key differences between the 2010 plan and the 2020 plan. So the community plan being introduced today was developed by the Ruxton Riderwood Lake Roland Area Improvement Association and covers the area on the map before you. The plan is an update of the 2010 plan, which was adopted on February 22nd, 2011 as part of the 2020 master plan. The updated plan will be an amendment to the 2020 master plan and will carry forward to become part of the 2030 master plan once it is adopted. The updating of the 2010 Ruxton Riderwood Lake Roland Area Plan was authorized under the October 19th, 2020 Council Resolution. This is why we're presenting it to you here today for introduction. The public hearing and the vote is expected to take place on January 5th, 2023. So every 10 years, the Ruxton Riderwood Lake Roland Area Improvement Association develops a community plan to track with the Baltimore County Master Plan process, with the first one adopted in 2001. The plan also prepares for the comprehensive zoning map process. And consistent with the association's mission, the community plan's goal is to assist in protecting, preserving, and enhancing the Ruxton, Riderwood, and Lake Roland communities through stewardship, education, and advocacy. The association also updates the plan every 10 years in order for it to serve as a living blueprint to guide it in meeting the expectations of the community. So in order to update the plan, the association formed a committee composed of its board members to guide the process and develop the plan. In May 2020, the association emailed a survey to over 1,000 residents and businesses asking them to rate the importance of 12 key issues in the community. With over 481 responses, the 5 highest rated issues were chosen as the core issues for the plan, and I'll be going over those shortly. A draft of the plan was posted on the association's website for ongoing comment, and further input was gathered during a community virtual town hall that was held on May 17th, 2021. The county contributed to the update process with several departments reviewing the plan. These are the Department of Planning, Department of Permits, Approvals and Inspections, the Zoning Review Office, the Department of Public Works and Transportation, and the Department of Environmental Protection and Sustainability. So the top 5 key issues that were ranked by the community that form the core of the updated plan are: first, crime and public safety. This issue also addresses the topics of traffic and the light rail due to repeated mentions and open-ended question responses that were gathered in the survey. The second is code enforcement, development, and zoning. The third is the Falls Road corridor and development. The fourth is flooding, and the fifth is sewer lines. So to identify key changes from the 2010 plan, we can compare the 2010 focus points to the focus points that were included in the updated 2020 plan. I'd like to note, however, that the 2010 focus points were not ranked based on the survey results the way the ones in the 2021 are. So public safety, crime and public safety is highlighted as a focus point in both plans. Although the community itself experiences very little crime, it remains a top concern for residents given incidents of crime in surrounding areas. Second, code enforcement, development, and zoning has many of the same goals as the 2010 plan's focus point titled subdivision and infill. Code enforcement and related issues are always a top concern for this community as it relates to maintaining the existing character of the area. The Falls Road corridor and development point expands upon the 2010s plan focus on Bear Hills with updates on the goals and actions. And finally, both flooding and sewer lines are new focus points that were included after flooding and rainstorm events that occurred in the community over the past 10 years. So on January 5th, 2023, at the public hearing presentation, you can expect us to go over the details of these focus points with their individual goals and actions. And you'll also have the opportunity to hear from Community Representative Andrew Murray from the association. This concludes our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lamb. Board members, do you have any questions at this time?
We'll have an opportunity when they have the public hearing, right?
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no further questions or if there's no comments, can I entertain a motion?
Oh, Nancy, real quick.
Oh.
Hi, this is Katie. I don't think it's a big deal. I've already spoken to Mr. Lafferty about this. But my family and I do live in that neighborhood and are part of that community association. So I just wanted that to be known.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, Ms. Panera. Can I
Okay.
entertain a motion?
I'll make the motion. Be it moved that the Baltimore County Planning Board set a public hearing regarding the Ruxton Riderwood Lake Roland Community Plan for Thursday, January 5th, 2023 at 5 p.m.
I second.
Any opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you all very much. But as a reminder, that meeting on January 5th will be in person. So please mark your calendar and plan your day accordingly. Okay, right now, Ms. Bensley will fill us in on the report from the November 10th, 2022 meeting of the Landmark Preservation Commission.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At their November 10th meeting, the Landmarks Preservation Commission voted to issue 7 certificates of appropriateness. Those were for the Watkins property at 709 Cliveden Road in Sudbrook Park, the McClung property at 1604 South Rolling Road in Relay, the Seidel property at 311 Register Avenue in Rogers Forge, the Locke property at 722 Howard Road in Sudbrook Park, the Scott property at 315 Central Avenue in Glendon, Paradise Place at Sudbrook Assisted Living Property at 600 Sudbrook Road in Sudbrook Park, and the Brennan property at 102 Rosewood Avenue in Catonsville. And that concludes the report.
Thank you, Ms. Bensley. And now, can you please fill us in on legislation recently passed by the County Council?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Bill 6022, Baltimore County Public Ethics Laws amendments for the purpose of adding certain definitions, prohibiting certain employees, and former public officials from disclosing or using certain confidential information for personal benefit, prohibiting the County Ethics Commission from providing public access to certain information, and generally relating to the Baltimore County public ethic laws. Bill 7322, zoning regulations on farm composting for the purpose of defining on-farm composting facility, permitting an on-farm composting facility in certain rural conservation zones under certain circumstances, and generally relating to on-farm composting and uses permitted in rural conservation zones. Resolution 4122, accept donation of land, TPA Properties 37 LLC, Sparrows Point Park. A resolution to authorize the county to accept a donation of approximately 21 acres of land. The county intends to utilize the donated land as the site of the first new park in Baltimore County in nearly a decade, Sparrows Point Park. Trade Point Atlantic is redeveloping approximately 3,000 acres at the former Bethlehem Steel site. Trade Point Atlantic has offered to donate 21.465 acres of this waterfront property to the county for the use by the Department of Recreation and Parks, and it will include at a minimum a conservation area, a regulation-sized multi-sport LED lit artificial turf field, a 16,000 square foot LEED Platinum designed recreation center, a fishing pier, kayak launch, extensive walking trails, and parking required to support these facilities. The appraised value of the 2 parcels is $2.45 million. The park is currently being designed with groundbreaking slated to occur in 2023 and construction anticipated to last 18 months. Resolution 4222, review of PUD homes at Rosedale, a resolution to approve a planned unit development in accordance with county law. Homes for Rosedale Limited Partnership submitted an application for review and approval of a 5.451 acre site within the Erdl Zone DR55, located at the intersection of Chesapeake Avenue and Old Philadelphia Road in the Rosedale area of the 7th Councilmanic District to be developed as a general PUD. The applicant is proposing to develop the site with 72 rental apartments for seniors 62 years of age and older. The County Council finds that the density and uses permitted should be amended to allow the described apartments for seniors in accordance with Section 324242 of the Baltimore County Code. Project-specific details may be found within the resolution. And finally, Resolution 4322, an amendment to the Perry Hall Community Plan. A resolution to amend the Perry Hall Community Plan to provide additional guidance on facade improvements, parking, and sidewalk to further create a visually pleasing and pedestrian and transit-friendly corridor. And that concludes the report, Madam Chair.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Bensley. Appreciate that. Well, this is the conclusion of our agenda for tonight. Just a reminder, we do not meet in December at all. So we'll see you all again at our January 5th meeting, which is in person. Please
Nancy, do you
schedule
want,
your,
do you want an amendment to close the meeting?
well, I
Madam
haven't
Chair?
gotten there yet, Todd.
Okay,
Thank you. I wish you all a happy holiday. May I entertain a motion now?
Madam
Nancy,
Chair, Madam Chair,
Yes, Steve.
before Todd jumps in, um, let me on behalf of all the staff of the planning department, thank you all very, very much for your service during this past year. I know a lot has come your way. You've been attentive. We've jumped back into having meetings in person, which I think have been terrific. Got to see Mr. Johnson in person for the first time. And I'm sure many of you said, "Oh, is that how? I hadn't seen you before." In all seriousness, I think the staff has greatly benefited from the opportunity to interact with you. We will have a very robust 2023. And while we do not meet in December, as you indicated, Nancy, we just wish all of you safe voyages should you travel throughout the holidays, and a wonderful time with your friends and family. And we'll see you in January. But thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Lafferty. Does anyone else have any comments before we call for?
Nancy,
Yes.
one quick, I just wanted to congratulate and/or send condolences to Steve for continuing on as head of planning. We look forward to working with him next year.
Thank you, Scott.
And Madam Chair, this is Peter. I just wanted to say that thanks to all of you. I've learned so much this past year, and with your love and affection to what we do to serve the community. All my gratitude to all of you. And Todd, hey man, you are a great guy. You know how to party. You know, we went downtown Baltimore and we celebrated all the wins. And Todd is a good leader in that department. And Madam Chair, thank you for all your support. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I feel very, very fortunate to work with such wonderful people. And for the planning department, this has been a very, very challenging year for you. I know. And we're so very, very grateful for all you do and all the time you spend making sure that Baltimore County is the best place to live, work, and play. Are there any other comments before we go into adjournment?
Well, I just wanted to, I forgot one thing. Taylor, Ms. Beasley, you are the greatest. You did great work, and you don't let me forget anything, all of us, and we appreciate you, and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, are we ready to move to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
All in
Second.
favor? There we go.
Thanks,
If no
everyone.
opposed,
Let's have a great time. Enjoy your holiday.
you too. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thanks.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.